Everybody, Spurgle here again for the second episode of this rusty metal box item example port. You see I fixed the dodgy RV map from last episode. And this episode we're going to cover animating the lid, giving it the similar action to the open and close functions on the barrel. So when it's open you can see the inventory, when it's closed you can't. And the lid movement animation, something similar to that with my rusty metal box. So yeah, let's close this down and get stuck into it. First thing we're going to want to do is the P3D work, I think, and the model config. You can find a bit more info about model configs in the BI wiki. Post a link. Any useful links are always found down below or in my Discord. We're going to be using some probably rotation animations, I guess would be. So yeah, go have a look at this page, have a quick read through. But in particular, we are going to be doing like a hinge, a door, essentially. So as per usual, let's open up one of the vanilla items with eliteness and see what's what. I'm just going to go for a building, military. I'm pretty sure the military barracks has a door. So let's open that with. Yep, it's got a door. Let's have a look. This is what we really want out of the model config. Obviously we have the skeleton up the top. And then down below we have this animation, which if you look here we have the type, which is what we saw here. We have type, the animation type. We have the source, which we'll cover in the config CPP. We have the selection, which is done in the P3D. We have the axis, so like the hinge point of the door, which is done in the memory LOD on the P3D. And then like your minimum and maximum values and the angle that it rotates. Something similar to that. I'm going to put that over there out of the way. And we'll start with P3D. So we need selection. Let's go to the 0 LOD and select the lid. And we will call that new lid. Shall we? Yeah, we'll include the hasp in the lid. We don't want the whole box, we just want the hasp and the lid because the hasp is kind of part of the lid. No, actually we'll give the hasp its own animation. So we've got lid and we will have the hasp and part of the hinge, and we'll give them their own selection. So new, we'll put that hasp. I'm also going to want to add those selections into the other reslods where they apply. So in reslod 1 we've taken away the hasp, but we've still got the lid. So new, there we go, it's already there, lid. And reslod 2 again, we have the lid, but it's all one item by this point. I don't think we'll bother adding the selection in this LOD. We'll see how that goes in game. Well, that's our two selections, lid and hasp. Now we're going to need memory points or access points for them. We'll do the lid first, and all I'm going to do is a new properties, make an edit LOD. Go back into reslod 0 and I'm going to find the two vertices which I think are nearest the hinge point. Now the model doesn't actually have a hinge, but we know that we're going to be hinging from around, let's take both of them and do it in the center actually, around those points. So we'll copy those points out, edit LOD. We don't need those two selections. We'll delete that one and we'll rename this one to lid underscore axis. Take these two, and if I do Shift D, that will merge them. Take those two and merge them. And that is our lid axis. So we can, oh, that didn't rename. Rename lid axis, enter. There we go. We can take this, we can copy it, and we'll go to the memory point and we'll plop it in there. So that is our axis. We're also going to want, whilst we're still here, we'll do the hasp axis as well. So what I will do with that, I will take this selection and this selection. I'll copy that back over to the edit LOD, paste it in. We can delete that bit and we can delete those two. Take hasp, rename to hasp axis. And if we zoom in over here, we can probably, let's get a good view of it. We want to delete those faces first of all. I believe that would be faces, remove. And then we can select that side and do a Shift D to merge all the points and a Shift D on that side to merge all the points. And that is now our hasp axis. Over to the memory LOD. Words getting muddled up. Paste that in there. So lid axis and hasp axis. Save that. And that's ready to roll. And now we want our model config. So remember looking in eliteness, we had skeleton. So let's link out that skeleton. Copy that. And paste it in there. And our skeleton isn't skeleton doors. We will call it skeleton rusty metal box. Control C, Control V, and that is lid. We also have, so we're doing a bit more than just a lid. We have hasp, and that is a bone of the lid. No, that's bone, lid. There we go. That is that section. Now we also need down in the config model, again back to eliteness, always checking what you're doing, what you're based off. We don't need any of that section, that's just eliteness going overkill for us. But you have your skeleton name and your class animations. So got our sections. Let's add in a skeleton name. And the skeleton name is skeleton rusty metal box. Skeleton 1 rusty metal box. No, skeleton rusty metal box. Let's copy that and paste that in our skeleton name. Yep, that will be about right. And not only do we have sections, we now also need a class animations. And we'll get our basic animation layout from, you guessed it, Alina's. Copy the class doors and paste it here twice. Once for the lid and once for the hasp. They're both going to be rotation types, but we'll have a source of lid and a source of hasp. These will need adding into our config CPP animation sources. Selections in the model are, yep, you guessed it, lid and hasp. The axis is hasp, no, harp and lid. Source address, we can clean this up a little bit, we don't need all of that extra info. That's just comments that not sure if Eliteness adds these comments in or if they're actually there. I imagine they're actually there, left over from the devs. Oh, made a boo-boo there, cleared a whole line. Comment, probably. Yeah, that is a basic rotation animation config setup for the two bones, the lid and the hasp bones. So let's save that and see if we got it working properly. We can go to Bulldozer. Give this a minute to load. Oh, didn't like something. Line 24 in the model config. What have we done? Typo. Line 24. Oh, silly. Didn't need a colon on the end. No, not colon, comma. Yeah, pretty sure that was it. Let's read that error message again. Line 24, config model, yeah, comma, encountered instead of equals. Silly mistake. Okay, try that again, shall we? It's loading this time. And there we are. Zoom in on it a little bit. Get to a good angle. Now you can use page up and page down to do your animations. Now the hasp is, I don't know if you can see that, going backwards. And a bit too much of an angle by the looks of it because it pokes out the top. Page up to the lid. The lid's alright, apart from we're leaving that part of the hasp behind. Can you see that floating there? A couple of tweaks. First tweak we'll do is get that part of the hasp in the lid selection. I think it's that bit and that bit. Ooh, didn't like that. Yeah, those two bits. Well, no. That bit. So looking at that hasp, it looks like that bit. Which bit's attached to which? That's the question. The middle piece might be attached to the front. Hey, it doesn't matter. Let's do what we came here to do. Highlight that bit. And redefine. Start. We've only got the lid selected. Oh, we're still leaving part of it behind. Yeah, I did need that bit. We want to go lid, nav that bit. Oh, push Windows, not Control. Get the lid, highlight that bit, get rid of that bit, and redefine. Whilst we're out, we might as well also go to the model config and we'll change that hasp animation. Now I think I want to change that minus to a positive number. Save that and back to Bulldozer to test it. Yeah, but it doesn't quite go far enough now, does it? We want it to fold all the way back on itself, really, so that needs more of an angle. Back to the model config. I reckon we're about halfway there at that. Maybe not. We're a third of the way there at that. So let's go all the way up to, I don't know, 4. When you're messing with animations, it is a lot of fine tuning. There you go. A little bit too far now. Maybe 3 would have been better. 3. Rinse and repeat, tweak, test. That's not enough again. So 4.85 was too much, 3.85 was not enough. So let's do 4. Roughly be in the middle of that. That would be like 6-ish. 4.6. Restart Bulldozer. Yeah, there we go. That's about right. Folding back pretty much all the way on itself. And the only thing I am noticing, they're not animating together. I think if we go back to the model config, if I give them both the same source, they will animate together, which is what you want, really, don't you? It's all going to be part of the same opening action, so you want the hasp to open and then the lid to swing up once the hasp is open. So yeah, they're going at the same time now. One more tweak, I think. Why don't we try the minimum value for the lid to animate would be 0.4, and the maximum value for the hasp to animate is 0.4. So that one won't start moving until it hits 0.4, and this one will stop moving at 0.4 of the animation phase. Relaunch after saving the model config. Zoom in, look the right way. Yeah, now we only have the one top right or top left anim lid, and if we one click, two click, three click, there we go. The hasp goes all the way back, and then the lid opens in one fluid movement. I think that will do it for this episode. We're at about 20 minutes. So quick recap, we have added selections for the hasp and the lid in the res LODs. In the memory LOD, we have added the two axes for the hasp and the lid. And then in the model config, we've given it a skeleton with your two bones, your lid and your hasp, which is a bone of the lid. We've defined the skeleton in our config model, and we've given it a class animations. Tidy this up a little bit more. I didn't realize they were commented out, so we might as well get rid of them because they're not needed. And we've added our two animations with their sources, selection, their axis is defined, and their values and angles all set up. Next time we will add the animation source into the config and make the custom action and include it in the .c. So I will see you next time. Take it easy, peeps. Bye.